It sounds like that, I am spreading love and I'm losing. No, I'm getting back. When I make someone smile, that smile also gives me joy in my heart.
Farid Ahmed's words of forgiveness were heard around the world following a terror attack in Christchurch, New Zealand.
I want a heart that will be full of love and will forgive lavishly.
His words and stories offer both healing and hope for the future.
If our heart is full of love, then peace will start from here.
Episode 23, Making Others Smile.
Yeah, then the main thing is some people, they know me for my forgiveness. And also in different occasions, people asked me, Farid, how could you reach to this level of mentality that you could forgive? Was it a sudden change in you, a wake-up call or sudden light? Or was that something that have been making you for this way? So in my case, yes, it was not a sudden thing, and it was a continuous process in my life. I learned from my mistakes, I learned from my strength, and the stories we are telling here is just to make the link so the viewers can understand that how my situation, my environment, my education, everything together that taught me or gave me the experience or directed me to this way. So the forgiveness mentality for me was not just sudden, it was a continuous process. So let us talk about again my childhood, because I have learned, I would say fairly, most of the things in my childhood. So naturally, some people, some people, they have particular nature. So probably naturally, I am quite empathetic, because I remember that we had a big family, and when other relatives comes, we are many children, and I was the last one. Even I was younger than others. I go back and I remember even when I was 6 years old, 5 years old, I was the last one who would take the food, and I used to encourage, you go, and that was very noticeable, because sometimes some of my aunties used to cry that we made this particular thing for you, and you are pushing everyone to take the best part. So why did we do all the hard work? And I used to smile. I said, no, it's nice that they are enjoying, and I will take some. So that was me. Always put other people first. That was probably the nature, empathetic nature, and that part did not change. Always. And for this nature, I was sometimes in a lot of troubles, and maybe later I can add one story on this. And that is to give my parents huge fright, and they always used to say to me, we don't know how you're going to survive in this world, because people will take advantage of your generosity. They were very, very afraid. So one thing was my nature. The second thing was my education. And I was very, very lucky to have good teacher. So even between 5 and 6 years of age, I used to go to the mosque every morning, 6 days. So just for 1.5 hours, all children, they go to the mosque to have some religious knowledge. And there, my teacher was very focused on what we needed to hear, we needed to learn. So from there, I had learned, not just learned, few things have been stuck in my brain, in my mind, and I never forget. And those things had been guiding me all my life. So what were those things? He taught us that all humans are children of Adam and Eve. Secondly, he taught us that actually all humans are one large family. Therefore, you have duties to another human. Another human has some duties towards you. And that's how you have to look after one another. Those simple 3 things made me, because I took it in my heart and soul, and probably my nature welcomed it, because my nature and this teaching resonated. So that was another point, that how I am this way. The third thing was my school. In my school, we were in an area that we had children from different religions. So we were the classmates, and some of our teachers, they were from different religions. And we did not learn to differentiate one from another. We were all, we were hugging, like all of us were friend, brother, we look after one another. We used to show respect to our teachers, whether from this or that religion. We used to, sit down to touch our teacher's feet. That was our culture, to show that, we respect our teacher second to our parents. That was, our culture. We were not allowed to call our teachers by name. Never. In our culture, that was not enough respect. If any child had done that, who will receive heaps of discipline from the parents. What did you do? So we used to call sir or madam. And teacher-student relationship was like another parent-child relationship. So pure and so honorable. So we did not see any differentiation from one religion to another. All of them were our teachers. All classmates were our friends. We played together, ate together, we had no problem at all. So those things helped me to be what I was and what I am.
And this is very much what you're still doing. I'm thinking of your unity in diversity dinner you have every year, and
Yes.
that message you spread.
Yeah.
It goes right back to those roots.
Exactly. That we are one human family, and we have responsibility towards one another. Sometimes people say, sometimes even some teenagers, and I take it positively when some of them they say, "Uncle, why should I care about others? I said, that's a very good question. Why? There must be a reason. And if there is a good reason, you must care. So the reason is, you are one family. You are all children of Adam and Eve. You all have blood circulation. Color of blood is same. These are the reasons. You look for reasons, you'll find thousands. There are thousands of reasons that you owe me and I owe you. You are responsible for me and I'm responsible for your happiness. So we cannot just wash our hands and say, why should I care? Yeah, you should care because there are reasons, logics that makes you happy, they make other people happy.
It sounds to me that you can actually take it down to a cost benefit analysis if you wanted to.
That's very, yes, yes. It sounds like that. I am spreading love, and I'm losing. No, I'm getting back. When I make someone smile, that smile also gives me joy in my heart, and that's how we are created. For example, we make one another's day. When we look at our neighbor or a friend and with a nice smile we say, hello, how are you? Are you well? Can I do anything for you? Things like this. The other person say, you made my day. It didn't cost anything, but little bit of love, little bit of niceness that made one person happy, and when I see that person is smiling, I feel happy that I have achieved something good.
No cost, great benefit.
Great benefit. So, yeah, those things, I was taught in my childhood, and as I say that sometimes this empathetic nature also put me in troubles. So maybe we can talk about it next week.